Thank you. Thanks for having me here tonight. A couple of years ago, four women, decided we were going to try and become the first women to row around Britain. And, are we started? Essentially, it's 2,300 miles to go around Britain. You basically start at the Thames by Tower Bridge, go out to the sea, turn right, and keep the dry stuff on your right, and keep the wet stuff on your left, and kind of carry on round. We wanted to make it a bit harder, so we did it completely unsupported and completely non-stop. So we had no support whatsoever. Where do you come up with silly ideas like this? In the pub, of course. Over a gin and tonic, or two or three. That's the only place. So I set up something called Bristol Explorers, and we meet every month, and you can come along if you want and come up with a ridiculous idea of your own. Didn't know where to start, so thought, well, I need a boat. This is Go Commando, 24 foot long, and our home for the whole, what ended up being 52 days. I also thought, well, I need some other women, so I put an advert in the press and on websites, asked my friends to sort of tell people I was looking for some crazy women to go with me. These were the only women who wanted to do it. Loved them. And then, just very quickly, we were already suddenly at Tower Bridge, grasping onto Richard's trophy there, and it had become a race. There was 4 girls, we were called the Seagulls, after the media had come in, and 4 boys. And they were like an ex-SAS guy, a world champion rower, and a professional adventurer. David and Goliath sprung to mind, and that was their big boat on the right-hand side. This is our little one. Started to realise we'd bitten off a bit too much, a bit more than we could maybe chew, but thought, well, we just have to get round, that's the important thing. We're not going to beat the guys, we just have to get round. Very quickly got into life on board. My life, mostly as skipper, was navigating. It seemed to be a relentless, never-ending task. It was really interesting, but it's really much harder than navigating on land, I realised, because everything constantly changes. Even if you go to sleep, you wake up and everything's changed again. A couple of weeks, this was 3 weeks in, happy days. We were beating the boys. Morale was high, all the sun was out, the weather was in our direction, and everything was good. These sorts of moments were keeping us buoyant. This was in Skye, and actually this is just one of the beautiful places we saw, but what we realised, that seeing Britain from the outside in, looking in, is that we have this beautiful coastline, more awesome and wonderful than I'd ever realised. And we were really lucky to see awesome wildlife everywhere, like puffins, basket sharks, even killer whales. Of course, that all changed. About a week later, the boys quit, which everyone thought would be great and make us really happy, but it freaked us out. We thought, if the SAS can't do it, what are we doing? Force 9 gales hit us, brilliant. This was a few weeks later, by the time we were up north. It was, and then our bodies started to disintegrate too. These are Angela's hands at the end. You get something called claw hand, which means that your hands, for 6 weeks after we got back, I couldn't straighten my fingers or make a fist, because your hands get stuck in the claw hand position. Anyone's ever told you your hair washes itself after 4 weeks, they're lying. That's my hair after about 5 or 6 weeks, and it just got worse. But the worst was sleep deprivation, because that makes you go crazy. Because it was non-stop, we never had more than 2 or 3 hour rests. We always had to have 2 people on board at all times on deck. And when you're feeling completely mad, and then you start realising that the biggest risk out there is the other boats, and the busiest shipping lanes in Britain, in the world, sorry, are in Britain. Thank you very much. That's brilliant. That's just what you need in a 24-foot boat. So we got nearly run over a few times, and a Russian captain in the middle of the night freaked out a bit, and we thought, well, the boat came as close as that wall, and our boat nearly tipped up. But we made it. Eventually, we made it. This is a really unattractive picture of me. It looks like all my front teeth are missing. These are my own teeth, I promise, I have all my own teeth. But I love this photo anyway, because the moment when you've come through something hard, when you've tried really hard and something's been really difficult, and you've dared to fail, that is when you feel most alive. And Bristol Explorers has now become Explorers Connect. And we have groups all over the country, and we basically invite everyone to join us, free to join on the website, and join us, and we can help you take the first step on your next adventure, whether it be a very small one, learning to kayak, or whether it be going to Everest or the North Pole. Go out and step out of your comfort zone. Thank you.
The lady who got her hands on Richard Branson's trophy, Belinda Kirk.